What's up guys, Cubeologist here, and today in this episode of the OLL training series, we're going to be covering cases number 1, 17, and number 20. Alright guys, so the first case we're covering today is OLL number 1. Now, this case is really easy to recognize because once you see that it's a dot case, you see that you have two 3x1 bars on the right and the left side, and these two edges are unoriented facing out. Now once you have the cube oriented like this, you do R, U2, R prime, and then you do a sledgehammer, R prime F, R F prime, U2, and another sledgehammer to insert this piece, R prime F, R F prime. Now you'll notice the third and fourth move in this algorithm are both R primes, so instead of just doing that R, U2, R prime, and then regripping to do the R prime to start your sledgehammer, what you can do is you can do R, U2, then regrip like this to go straight into your sledgehammer. And this is how I do that. It's slow, but it works for me. The next case we're going to be covering is OLL number 17. Now as you can see, it's easily recognized because it's the only case that has this slash running across it. And the way you want to orient this case is like this. You have this 2x1 block on the left side, this 2x1 block on the top. It's like they're forming an arrow pointing to the top left. These two edges are unoriented and facing out. Now once you have the cube in this position, you want to do the following algorithm. R, U, R prime, U, push with your left index finger. Then you do sledgehammer, R prime F, R F prime, U2, then sledgehammer again, R prime F, R F prime. Now this dot case is slow for me just like the other ones, so I try to avoid them, but here's how I execute it. Alright guys, so the last case we're going to cover today is OLL number 20. This case doesn't really fit with the other two, but it doesn't really fit with any of the other dot cases. It's kind of standalone, and I didn't want to give it its own video, so I thought there's no better time than the present. Now with the first two cases, if you look at the algorithms, they involve taking a piece out, taking a pair out, then doing some version of the sledgehammer once or twice, and then putting it back in. This case is not like that. This case has its own algorithm, and it uses M slices. So the way you perform this case is you can have it in any orientation because it's symmetrical, and then you do the following algorithm. M, U, then you do the trigger, R, U, R prime, U prime, M2, then you do U, R, U prime, small r prime. This is actually one of my favorite dot cases because I think it's easy to execute because I do my M slices with my left hand, but here's how I execute this case. Alright guys, well I appreciate you watching. It's actually going to be the next to last video in our series, then we'll have full OLL covered. Now like I said before, I'm having a hard time incorporating these into my solves still, but at least I'm memorizing the algorithms. So if you want to stay up to date with this series and the ones to come, go ahead and subscribe, and thanks for watching guys.